For years, Meghan Markle's life played out like a carefully edited movie, sparkling, mysterious, and cloaked in a silence that made the world lean in, desperate for a glimpse behind the curtain. But this time, the silence shattered from a voice no one expected. Samantha Markle, Meghan's own sister, stepped forward, not with fury, not with idle gossip, but with something far more dangerous: truth. She began to speak of whispers that had floated in the shadows for years. Whispers that Meghan might have undergone a hysterectomy at just 28. A procedure that could rewrite everything: Archie, Lilibet, every odd moment that left the public puzzled and whispering. Samantha didn't scream. She didn't dramatize. She simply said, "Look at the timeline. Nothing makes sense unless you know the truth." And just like that, the door creaked open. Behind it waited a story stranger than fiction. Pregnancies that didn't behave like pregnancies, children who vanished from public view, and headlines that promised revelation but delivered nothing. Tonight, we step through that door. As the questions around Archie and Lilibet grew louder, a pattern emerged. Every rumor, every timeline, every unexplained moment seemed to converge on the same chilling possibility: surrogacy. In most families, surrogacy is celebrated, a gift, a miracle, a shared story of hope and love. The woman who carries the child is honored, applauded, remembered. But Meghan's world was anything but ordinary. Inside the royal family, bloodlines are priceless treasures. Every birth is counted, every moment recorded, every lineage tracked. Tradition, law, succession, everything hinges on origin. A child not born from the mother's body invites questions, storms, complications. Titles, inheritance, legitimacy all hang in the balance. For Meghan, whose public image was a mix of glamour, rebellion, and meticulously curated control, admitting surrogacy would be like cracking the surface of a flawless crystal sculpture. And if Samantha Markle was right, if Meghan truly had a hysterectomy at 28, then every pregnancy after that wasn't just private, it was impossible. That is when whispers transformed into weighty, dangerous speculation. The children may exist, but did Meghan truly carry them? That question became the pulse of the story. The deeper people dug, the stranger everything seemed to get. And that's when this expose took a sharp, unforgettable turn. Out of the shadows stepped a voice the world had never heard. She calls herself DL. No filters, no disguises, no shaky voice, only cold, unwavering clarity. Her opening words stopped everyone in their tracks. "I carried Archie. I carried Lilibet." DL wasn't a donor. She wasn't an assistant. She was the surrogate, the one living the pregnancies while Meghan paraded a public bump for the cameras. She said the children never belonged to her, that promises of privacy and protection were lies. "I wasn't treated like a mother. I wasn't treated like a woman. I was treated like a vessel," she said. And now she refused to stay silent. DL didn't bring stories, she brought proof. Appointment logs, embryo schedules, doctor signatures, progress notes, every single file dated, stamped, perfectly aligned with Meghan's public timeline. These, she claimed, came from a former insider at a Beverly Hills fertility clinic, and they mirrored the royal pregnancies almost flawlessly. She detailed how it all began. Late 2018, the exact moment Harry and Meghan announced Archie. According to DL, that pregnancy was hers, not Meghan's. The picture became even clearer as she explained private meetings, the strict contract, and the intense secrecy. Two timelines ran side by side. One, glossy and public, filled with photos and designer maternity gowns. The other, hidden inside a clinic, growing silently in her body. Only one was real. Weeks after the royal wedding, DL says she was escorted through private entrances, handed a thick confidentiality agreement, and enrolled in a medical program so precise it bordered on obsession. Every test, every appointment, every procedure synced with Meghan's public journey. IVF cycles started before announcements. Implantations coincided with press releases. First trimester symptoms mirrored Meghan's first visible bump. Due dates? Perfectly matched Archie and Lilibet's reported births. With her claims revealed, old footage suddenly looked different. The infamous moment when Meghan bent forward, her bump folding unnaturally, almost like fabric collapsing. People had brushed it off, awkward angle, odd dress. But now, with DL's story, the truth seemed undeniable. That pregnancy? Not Meghan's. DL's. And the birth itself? No hospital cameras, no rushing convoys, no smiling medical staff, no royal photo op. Instead, Harry appeared near horse stables, announcing Archie's arrival like a nervous schoolteacher. Back then, it felt strange. Now, with everything revealed, it felt calculated. Because a pregnancy can be hidden, but labor cannot. And if Meghan never entered a maternity ward, then the silence wasn't privacy. It was concealment, the the silence wasn't privacy. It was a shield, protection for a story the world was never meant to question. Until now, everyone assumed Harry was simply following Meghan's lead. DL shattered that illusion. Harry wasn't in the dark. He wasn't deceived. He wasn't an outsider. According to her, he attended appointments. He signed documents. He met her face to face. He approved everything. In her words, he looked me in the eye. And just like that, the narrative flipped upside down. If Harry knew from day one, this wasn't Meghan's secret. It was theirs. Insiders say the prince is now crumbling under the weight of it. Snapping at staff, cutting ties with longtime friends, obsessively monitoring for leaks, living in a paranoia he cannot escape. Sources whisper he never imagined it would spiral like this. The line between protecting Meghan and deceiving the world vanished faster than he could anticipate. The prince who once craved privacy is now drowning in the consequences of silence, and this is only the beginning. While Meghan and Harry stayed quiet, the palace moved. Behind closed doors, advisors, lawyers, constitutional experts were summoned into clandestine meetings. Not for gossip, but because DL's evidence demanded attention. Royal succession rules are simple, unyielding. An heir must be born of the mother's body. If surrogacy is used, it must be formally declared. No secrets. No shortcuts. Yet Archie and Lilibet hold royal titles and places in the line of succession. If DL is telling the truth, no official surrogacy was ever announced. That isn't just a scandal, it's a constitutional crisis. A child's status, a lineage, centuries of protocol, all threatened by a hidden pregnancy. Sir Edward Lane, the late Queen's press secretary, broke decades of silence to say one thing: the danger isn't surrogacy. The danger is deception. And that is precisely what haunts the palace. In royalty, image is survival. Trust is currency. DL's claims put both at risk. Behind the velvet curtains, officials are now asking questions they hoped they'd never face. Were documents altered? Who inside knew? Was the line of succession compromised? How do you rewrite a royal record that has already been sealed in public memory? These aren't mere whispers. They are questions of legitimacy. If the public ever believes a royal birth was staged, faked, or hidden, the damage is irreversible. It strikes at the monarchy's foundation, the sanctity of bloodlines. Even now, advisors fear the worst. If DL's claims hold, Archie and Lilibet's royal positions could be challenged, not because of who they are, but because of how they arrived. The palace isn't panicking out loud, but the silence is heavy. The kind that signals fractures beneath the surface. DL didn't come to tell a sad story. She came to expose what she calls the truth. And she isn't stopping. More documents. More interviews. More networks calling. More lawyers preparing statements. Her ultimate weapon? A public DNA challenge. No PR spin, no palace statement, no distraction can erase it. DL says she will do it live, cameras rolling, independent experts present. If I'm lying, the world will know, she says. If I'm telling the truth, they will have to answer for everything. Meanwhile, Meghan's PR team freezes. Harry unravels. The palace scrambles to contain a story that has already escaped. DL was meant to be invisible. Now, she might be the single most critical voice in the Sussex saga. Every secret eventually fractures. This one is splitting in real time. DL's documents, the medical timeline, ultrasound records, financial trail, NDA, DNA challenge, Harry's involvement, Meghan's silence, palace panic, monarchy rules, they are all colliding. The outcome is no longer in anyone's control. If this scandal continues, it will not end with glossy magazine covers or staged interviews. It will end in a room full of lawyers, sworn statements, and questions no one can evade. Once a story reaches the scale, there is no turning back. The fairy tale isn't fading, it's crumbling. And the next chapter will not be written by Meghan, Harry, or even the palace. It will be written by the truth. And the truth is already at the door, ready to step inside.